Hey students, welcome to this episode of Cooking with Mr. Chris. As this is our first episode from Distance Learning Cooking, we are going to start with one of my favorites, and I know a lot of your favorites, some Toll House chocolate chip cookies. So before we get into the recipe or anything like that, first thing you're going to do is going to go wash your hands and preheat the oven to 375. So let's go do those two things first. Okay, we've got the oven preheated to 375, our hands nice and clean. Now, let's review what ingredients we're gonna need to make these cookies so we know we have them in our house. So, here are the ingredients and how much you're gonna need of each one. The ingredients we will need are 2 sticks or 1 cup of salted butter, 3/4 cup of cane white sugar, 2 1/4 cup of flour, 3/4 cup light or dark brown sugar firmly packed, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and my favorite, the chocolate chips. Now the cooking tools that we're going to need include an oven, a mixing spoon or a mixer, 1 large bowl for mixing the cookie dough, a medium bowl for your flour and baking soda, a small bowl for your eggs, a whisk, a cookie sheet, parchment paper if you have it, measuring cups and spoons, and a small spoon for scooping those cookies at the end. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is in this side bowl, we're going to add the flour and the baking soda in there. So that's going to be 2 1/4 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So let's add those in. Okay, now we're going to add the baking soda. We need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I have a 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon here. So I'm going to do 2 scoops. And I'm going to put it right in here with that 2 1/4 cups of flour. And I'm going to sprinkle it right on top. So that's 1 scoop, that's a 1/2. And a second 1/2 is going to equal 1 teaspoon. Now once the baking soda is in, you're going to want to use a whisk and just kind of bring all that baking soda and flour together. And then you're going to put this over to the side. Get your other bowl out. Now it's time to start adding the other ingredients. We're going to add 3/4 cup of cane sugar, white sugar, and 3/4 cup either dark brown sugar or light brown sugar, and add them to this bowl. Okay, make sure the brown sugar is firmly packed down. Add that in. All right, now it's time to add 1 cup of butter. But how much is 1 cup of butter? Well, butter usually comes in packs or sticks. 1 stick of butter is 8 tablespoons or a 1/2 cup. So 2 sticks of butter equal 1 cup of butter. To do this, I'm going to take this because I need it softened, and I'm going to put it in this bowl, and I'm going to throw it in the microwave for about anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds, and then I'm going to add it into my white sugar and the brown sugar. That's it.
Yep.
So I've broken the eggs into this bowl, and I'm just going to mix them up a little bit. I'm going to put them in, and I did this just to make sure I didn't get any shells in. Okay. To add the vanilla, just like the baking soda, I need 1 teaspoon, right? So we're going to do this 2 times because I have a 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm going to fill this vanilla up 2 times. There's 1, and here's the second one to make 1 teaspoon. 2 halves equal 1 teaspoon. Okay, now we're going to mix the wet ingredients up. Keep the flour and the baking soda to the side. Mix this up first, and then we're going to add this in. So let's mix this up. You can use a mixer if you want, or you can just use a spoon. Okay, now you're going to add your baking soda and your flour into this mixture. And I say just mix in a little bit at a time, then mix around, and then keep adding it until you've got all your flour and your baking soda in. Okay, now it's time to add my favorite ingredient, chocolate chips. I'm using Toll House today, and it calls for 16 ounces, and 16 ounces is 2 cups. Usually the bag will either be 12 or 16 ounces, but I'm going to measure out 2 cups here because it's a really big bag. Try not to get, I know. All right, so we're going to put that in there. Okay, and then, just like the flour, you want to add a little bit at a time, and then mix them up. Okay? And then you just keep going until all your chocolate chips are gone. Okay, so the cookie dough is done. So now it's time to put them in the oven. We have our oven set for 375. I've put some parchment paper down on this cookie sheet. You could put it right on the cookie sheet. Just make sure you don't put wax paper. If you're gonna use paper, use parchment paper so it doesn't stick. And then I'm gonna use a spoon to just kind of come in and spread these cookies out across the cookie sheet. Okay, now make sure you have your protective glove on there. And we're gonna put these cookies in the oven for about 9 to 10 minutes, again on 375, but I recommend getting your light on, and whenever you wanna take them out, go ahead and take them out. All right, we'll check back in like 9, 10 minutes. Okay, the first cookies just came out of the oven. I'm putting them on this cooling rack here, and I am just gonna let these cool for a little bit, and then I'm gonna repeat the process until all my dough is gone. Thank you so much for helping me out make some cookies. And I'm going to get working on getting the rest of these cookies done. And if you need a copy of the recipe, just shoot me an email and I'll send it out to you. All right. Thanks so much for joining Cooking with Mr. Chris Chocolate Chip Cookies.